front row.
Graham, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
Great. You said this was an opportunity that was too good for you to turn down in your 800-word letter to the Brighton fans. Can you just explain more about that and more what your philosophy will be here compared to maybe what it was at Brighton?
Well, you have to look at the football club here, the tradition, the quality, the size of the club, the ambition of the club, to compete in the Champions League, to compete at the top of the Premier League. It's a completely different challenge to the one I've had. I had 3 fantastic years at Brighton, amazing football club, but I'm very, very thankful for the ownership here of putting their trust in me and belief in me to work with an exciting group of players, to be competitive, and to put a team on the pitch that our supporters are really, really proud of. So I'm very, very excited, as you can imagine, and really looking forward to getting going.
Andy and then Carrie.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
It's a heck of a debut for you as well. It's not just a normal game, it's a Champions League game. Just wonder if you could talk to us a little bit about that, the size of what you expected to one of the occasion, that sort of stuff. And I just wondered as well about your experience of Champions League football. It's obviously your first as a manager. What experiences previously do you have of going to Champions League matches and that sort of thing, please?
Well, my experiences have just been as a supporter in terms of Champions League level. Obviously, I had my Europa League experience with Östersund, so going to Galatasaray was a fantastic occasion, winning there. PAOK as well, getting through there, going through the Europa League groups was a fantastic experience in European football. But you're right, this is an amazing evening for us, for all of us. I think it's really, really exciting. We're super excited for it. At the same time, you can imagine we've been trying to prepare a team, we've been trying to focus on the game, getting to know all the players, getting to know everyone at the training ground. But there's no denying it's. We're really looking forward to it. It's a fantastic opportunity.
Champions League game, either scouting or actually physically being scouted as a player or anything like that?
Off the top of my head, I don't think I have, no. So I think it's a good time to go in the dugout. You know, why not?
It's a heck of an introduction.
Yeah, I think wherever we start, it's a heck of an introduction. You know, it's with respect to everything that's happened at this football club, with the demands at this football club, with where we are in terms of how we're competing and what we want to achieve. Wherever we start is going to be brilliant, and why not start here?
Carrie.
Hello, Graham.
Hi.
9 days ago, you recorded a big win over Leicester and Brighton to get into the top 4, and you had to manage expectations of people talking about Europe. You're now going to walk a new team out to that Champions League music. We've all been through a bit of a change in environment in the last 9 days, but how is your head? And we hear so much about your culture. Jose Mourinho came here and announced himself as the special one. How do you want the players and the fans to know you?
Well, yeah, the fact you said 9 days, it feels like 9 weeks or 9 months, but it's been brilliant. Yeah, it's the beauty of football, the beauty of life. You never know what's around the corner. Things happened incredibly quickly. Had some really intense conversations with the owners, and quickly I realised that firstly they were good people, intelligent people that had made a huge success of their life outside of football and wanting to achieve something here. Really exciting project, really exciting ideas about how to take the club forward, and it felt really, really positive. I'm not going to lie, it's been a whirlwind in terms of getting to know people, leaving Brighton, learning about the players, getting to know them. But so far, it's been really, really positive. You know, my first impressions have been really, really good. And yeah, I'm looking forward to starting, as you can imagine. Really looking forward to starting.
David Heitner.
Graham, are there risks attached for you in this career move?
Risks? Well, if we walk out the road over there's a risk. You know, that's what life is. I mean, no one knows what's going to happen in the future. I left England, I think, when I was 30 years old, and I went to a club that had sacked the manager every year for the last 5 years. Fourth tier in Swedish football, left a secure job, left my wife's business, and you know, for an opportunity. And 17 years later, after taking, I think, careful steps with my career, I've haven't just jumped at the first opportunity. I've tried to understand what was involved and whether it was the right time for me to take a next challenge. But I think that's what life is. You know, life's about going outside of your comfort zone. It's about taking responsibility. It's about believing that there's more to us than what sits here now. And like I said, I don't really see it as a risk in a negative way, but I think everything is a bit unknown, and that's the beauty of life.
John Southall.
Hi.
How do you assess the squad you've taken on, and how have the players reacted to you since you've come in over the last 6 days?
I think the response has been really positive, like I say. A really honest group, a really responsible group. They've been positive around the training ground. They want to achieve, they want to do well, and I'm absolutely happy with the team, happy with the squad. The group's got a lot of quality, and I'm looking forward to over the next few days and weeks getting to know them better and better.
Is there a frustration that after this game you're not going to have another one until the beginning of October? You're not really going to get that chance, right?
No, but we know that that's just nothing I can do to control. That's part of the schedule. It's part of things that are above us. So it is what it is. I've always been that type. Just worry about the things that I can control, and the things I can control are trying to prepare the team as best we can and getting to work with the players as much as we can while we have them.
Jamie Weir.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
I can take you back to last Thursday, the 8th of September 2022 is a day a lot of people will never forget, and you in particular. Can you just describe the sort of conflicting emotions when you get a nice Chelsea manager, but then obviously that's overshadowed by the bigger news later that day?
Yeah, it was one of those days where we'll, you know, in 20 years, 30, 40 years' time, we'll go, where were you when that happened? And that'll be easy for me to answer, that's for sure. A seismic day on loads of levels, because obviously I had the personal exciting news of being here and everything that went with that. And, you know, without sounding silly, I was the main news, I guess. And then sadly, I didn't become the news at all. And, you know, the Queen, who's someone that's been in all of our lives, you know, passed away, and it was an incredible story. And then you start to think about your own life and your own memories. You know, my childhood memories of with my mum and dad, bless them. A lot of those are with, you know, Queen's Jubilee or some royal family event, a wedding. So you start to think about, wow, how constant she's been in all of our lives, and pretty quickly your thoughts are with the family.
Lazar Kinsella.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
You've been hired as the head coach, but I wanted to kind of learn more about what your role is overall. Do you see yourself getting involved in like discussions about a new sporting director coming in? How do you see the transfers? You've got Kyle McCauley as well behind the scenes. How does that work now with the setting out at Chelsea?
Well, predominantly I've always thought that I'm a head coach. My job is to help the football club, and I've always taken that approach. I was lucky that I had an opportunity in Sweden to sort of build a football club, and what I got from that was that the club is always the most important thing. You know, we're just here to serve the club and do our best, and that's they take the directive, and we want to try and help as best we can. Kyle is one of my members of staff who's been with me for 10 years. Really important in terms of recruitment. So a lot of the conversations that I think you need in terms of between ownership and the board can be had via him, because he knows me well and he knows how we want to play, and he knows the culture, he knows the environment, and as you'd imagine, those conversations often are time consuming. So he's really, really important for me. Not to say that I don't try and help the club in terms of making decisions around transfers, but my main job is to help the guys that are here, help the players that are here, and help them improve and put a team on the pitch that, like I said, our supporters are proud of.
John Cross.
Hi, Graham. I was just going to ask you that it must be really important for you to connect with the supporters straight away. What can you kind of look to promise them? Sort of entertaining football. I guess, what's your mission statement, basically?
Yeah, I think I've always said the connection between the supporters and the team is the most important thing, you know. And obviously, I'm the head coach and a member of the team, and an important member of the team, but no more important than anybody else, I guess. But I'd love their support, and I think everything that I've heard so far is I have that, and it's amazing. I'm very, very thankful for it. In terms of what I can promise, we're playing a game that is uncontrollable. So I can promise that I'll do my very, very best every single day. Take responsibility. The team that I'd like to see is one that is balanced in terms of attack and defence. A humble team, a respectful team that when they don't have the ball, that runs hard and runs and fights, because I think that's important also. We want to entertain, of course we do, but we also want to win. I'm respectful of the Premier League, I'm respectful of my opponents, that there's a lot of teams that want to do the same thing, but we want to create our own team, our own identity, so it's recognisable. Supporters understand what we're trying to do, can see what we're trying to do, and we'll fight every day for it.
Nick Purewell.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
How are you fixed with injuries? A pretty prosaic question, I appreciate, but Edouard Mendy wasn't at training this morning from Liga days. Will he miss the game?
Yeah, Eddie will miss the game. So will NG. Apart from that, everybody's fine. Both of those guys are progressing well, but the game's come too soon. But apart from that, we've got a fully fit team.
Is Mendy's injury a knee?
Yeah.
Is it tendon?
Yeah. So it's responded well, but I think it's been bothering him for a bit. So he's just had to take some time to clear it up. Don't think it'll be too long, but at the moment he's not available.
Tom, then Jason.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
Can you give us some insight into your decision-making process when you were first approached about taking this job, and maybe who you spoke to, family, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, well, my immediate family, my wife and my children. My children are 12 and 7, so I didn't bog them down too much with any conversation. But my wife, bless her, has been with me on this journey for along the way, so that was important for me to have that conversation. And then it's about my staff, and obviously hearing the owners here. We quickly had to make a decision. There was a lot of talks. It was very intense, but like I said, I got a nice feeling for the owners on a human level. Good people, very intelligent people that have an understanding of what they want to achieve. They've thought in the long term. They had a plan. So that was exciting, and then it was. We were happy and we were secure, and we were in a good football club. So you have to acknowledge that as well. But the challenge, as I said at the start of this conversation, was too big to turn down. It felt right for me. I'll always be respectful and thankful for Brighton and Hove Albion, but this club is an amazing football club, and it's an amazing challenge for us.
Jason.
Probably quite a tricky question, Graham, but obviously in the past, Chelsea have a history of hiring and firing managers. They turn over managers very, very quick. If you'd been approached under the previous regime, would you have been less inclined to take the job?
I don't like answering ifs and those types of questions, but I think it's not fair on the current owners to compare, and it's not fair on the previous regime to compare. It was what it was, and the history of Chelsea and the previous ownership is fantastic. I'm very, very respectful of that. I've grown up with the success, and it's been amazing. Our job is to create our own history, our own path, and that's what we're going to be focused on doing.
Adrian.
Great. You spoke earlier on about leaving to go to Sweden earlier on in your career. When you made that step, was eventually coming back to this level and working at a club at this level, was that always something you expected would happen, or was it something that felt too far away?
Well, when I left England to go to Sweden, I think I was working in the 9th tier of English football, and then I went to the 4th tier of Swedish football. So in terms of where I sit now, there's the bottom, and then there's like a load of levels, and then there's me. So I didn't have any plan that I'm going to be here sitting in front of you guys. I've never had that, to be honest. Yeah, in terms of ambition, of course, you want to test yourself at the highest level that you can. But I think ambition is one thing. I think like I said, responsibility is better in terms of work as hard as you can in the job that you are, do as best as you can, and take the steps when it's the right time to take the steps. I always just focused on, there was no grand plan. I just focused on doing my best at every club that I've been at, try to, as I said, take responsibility, try to analyse any mistakes you make, try to move forward, and then it's just about life, isn't it? No one can predict how it's going to go. No one knows, and that's why it's so beautiful.
Liam Twomey.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You've got a very deep squad here of established international players. You've also got some young players with first-team aspirations who signed for quite a lot of money. It's always been regarded as one of your strengths to be connecting with players and man management. So how do you approach that in this sort of situation?
Well, it sounds strange, but I approach it as I've approached every job and every football club, with the greatest respect to every environment and every context. I know that this is a different environment, this is a different context, but we're still working with people, as far as I know. And then it's about understanding them, treating them with respect, getting to know them, trying to communicate as clearly as possible, and build relationships. That's how it is. There's all sorts of narratives out there that top players are this, top players are that. Believe you me, in my experience, people are quite complicated. People have egos, people have different things that challenge, and that's the fascinating thing about this job. I think it's something I really enjoy.
Okay, last two, Matt Dunn and then Adam Newson to finish.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
We've moaned in the past, well, mainly young English managers have moaned in the past that big clubs don't appoint young English managers, and certainly English players at Chelsea haven't always done as well as we perhaps hoped they might do. With the kernel of English players you've got here and your own experience, do you see a sort of philosophy change in that regard? And do you see yourself as sort of a beacon or a pioneer for those talented English managers who now might get those chances?
I just see myself as a coach, not necessarily an English coach. It was the first thing I would say, even though I'm tremendously grateful for my family and for my history and from everything that I've had to come to this point. I'm grateful for the 7 years I had in Sweden as well, which shaped me as a coach and a person. So I don't know. Like I said, I left here when I was 30. I'm now 47, and in those 17 years, I've, educated myself as well as I can. I've taken on the different levels and taken on steps to go forward. I think that's something that is positive. In coaching, no matter where you're from, you need to always take responsibility, always believe that you can be more than what you are now, and help the football club that you're working at as best as you can. If that's helpful to the other English coaches, because there are lots of really good English coaches, then great. But my responsibility is to me and my family.
Last question, Adam Newson.
Hi.
You've been handed a 5-year contract, so it's clear the owners see this as a long-term investment. But from your perspective, what would you view success this season as?
Well, all my thoughts are on tomorrow night. So that's the first thing. We need to compete here. That's how it is. We have to compete. And as I said earlier, I have respect for the Premier League. I have respect for the Champions League. I have respect for the competitions that we're in. But we're Chelsea. There's no guarantees. Resources alone isn't enough, as we know. It's about connecting with our supporters. It's about them recognising a team that we're trying to do. It's about working every day at Cobham. It's about getting that understanding of how we want to play football. But success is to see improvement and to be competing to win.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.